Rồi cả nhóm đầy đủ hết không? Bắt đầu đi.
Alo cô và các bạn nghe để em nói không ạ?
Có, cô con nghe.
Good afternoon, teacher and classmates. My name is Khanh, and today I and my team will present the presentation of QV301 accident and insurance policy involved. There is the member of the group with a talented boy and wonderful girl will bring the best presentation to class. The table of the content will be divided into 6 parts, and each part will present by each member of the team. Let's go to the first part. When you heard the name Lao Airlines. Lao Airlines is a national airline of the Lao, headquartered in Vientiane with operating base in Vientiane and Luang Prabang. The airline operates scheduled flights to 23 destinations in Laos and Asia, with 11 aircraft including 4 Airbus A320 and 7 ATR-72. As a national airline, Lao Airlines has successfully achieved many achievements during operation. Both domestic and international customers very satisfied with the airline, but unfortunately, the accident happened and the airline had to suffer a very serious consequence. On October 16, 2013, an ATR-72 registered RTPL 34233 operated by Lao Airlines was operating a scheduled domestic passenger flight from Wat Thai International Airport, Vientiane to Pat Seo International Airport, Pat Seo, Laos. The flight departed at 2:45 p.m. local time. On 3:50 local time, the pilot started to approach the runway 50. The local thunderstorm was around the airport, and it was raining due to the remnant of Typhoon Mary. However, the pilot continued to approach and lastly decided to go around an altitude of about 600 feet, which is below the MAP, is standing for the missing approach point in the steep right turn. You can see on the right slide is you can visualize the terrain. After passing the MAP, the crew decided to go around and initiate a right turn at about 600 feet. During missing approach, the aircraft descended, which resulted in warning of terrain avoidance warning system. The aircraft are climbing and started to descend again. Then it impacted the tree. The fuselage struck in bank and plunged into the river. The aircraft crashed into the Mekong River at 3:55 p.m. local time. So all 5 crew and 44 passengers from 11 countries on board were killed in this accident. The video will record the consequent accident of QV301. You can see on this scene that authorities have on this scene to ensure that everything was still under control after this happened. They are prepared to bring the passenger from the country. And the QV301 crash, the deadliest ever occurred on Laotian soil. The next part represented by ảnh. Ảnh ơi, chưa bật mic ảnh ơi.
Now I will reason about the investigation process of Flight 301. After the crash happened, the Laotian Department of Civil Aviation opened an investigation into the accident. The aircraft manufacturer ATR and the Bureau of Inquiry and Analysis for Civil Aviation Safety assisted them by sending four investigators to Laos. Here are the members of the investigation team. BER reported that their investigator had reached the crash site on October 18, 2013. Equipment provided by the BER were able to hear and locate the accounted signal by the flight data and cockpit voice recorder. However, the violence of the Mekong River at each time and the low visibility did not permit the recovery of the recorder so far. On October 22, 2013, BER reported that the aircraft had approached runway 15, had gone around, turned right and crashed. On October 31, 2013, the cockpit voice recorder were recovered from the Mekong River, but the flight data recorder was still missing. On November 2, 2013, Lao Ministry of Public Works and Transport announced that the flight data recorder had been recovered from the Mekong River 1 day after the cockpit voice recorder too. So far, 47 bodies had been recovered. 43 of them had been identified. After more than 1 year from the day of the accident, the official investigation report was released in November 2014. According to the official investigation report, the probable cause in this accident was sudden change of weather conditions and the flight crew failure to properly execute the public instrument approach, including the police missing approach procedure, which resulted in the aircraft impacting the terrain. Because the missed approach height was set at 600 feet and the aircraft system went into altitude capture mode, the flight crew did not follow the vertical profile of the lost approach. The pilot flying overrated when the flight crew noted the altitude was too low, resulting in a pitch altitude of 33 degrees. Then it hit the tree. The fuselage crashed into the river after colliding with the plane.
And now I move to the fourth part, the summary of related insurance parties. According to the agreement, the company that directly paid the insurance for this plane crash was Lao Việt Insurance Company, or LVI. LVI is a joint venture between Public Lao Foreign Trade Bank, or PCEL, and BITV Insurance Corporation, or BIC, a member of Bank for Investment and Development of Vietnam, or BITV, was set up and officially put into operation in June 2008 on the foundation of Lao-Viet friendship and cooperation. Currently, LVI is the only company providing aviation insurance products on the Lao insurance market. LVI dominates over 80% of the aviation insurance market through insurance contracts with both Lao Airlines and Lao Skyway. Accordingly, Lao Airlines has signed a contract to buy insurance at LVI, which is an associated London-based insurance company Willis. For most of aircraft in the fleet with the following types of insurance: aircraft hull insurance, spare parts insurance, third-party liability insurance, including passengers, crews, passengers, and cargo. In addition, in this accident, there was also participation of PVI Reinsurance Corporation or PVI Re, a wholly owned subsidiary of PVI Holdings under Vietnam National Oil and Gas Group. And BIC received reinsurance for insurance contracts between Lao Airlines and LVI, then transferred it to a number of insurance companies in Vietnam, including PVI Re. PVI Re has received reinsurance from BIC since 2011. And here is a diagram showing the relationship between the parties. And next we will be presented by Trâm.
And then my presentation will be about compensation paid for the accident. Immediately after the accident, LVI made an advance of $400,000 for Lao Airlines to pay for search and rescue, DNA testing, transportation, and burial for the discrete victims. Accordingly, a foreign national victim was given an advance of $5,000, while a Lao victim was given an advance of 2 million Lao kips, about $200. However, these were only the initial advance of the mandatory compensation for the victims of death. LVI had paid a total amount of $4 million in compensation to Lao Airlines to solve the loss of the plane crash that killed 49 people. After receiving information about the accident, BIC is LVI parent company flew from Vietnam to Laos to coordinate with related parties to solve the accident, including LVI. BIDV, the founding shareholder of BIC, also provided $1,000 for each family of crew members, including pilots, flight attendants, technicians. On the other hand, Lao Airlines paid 20 million gifts, about $2,000, to the family of each of the victims, plus an additional $5,000 from its London-based insurance company Willis. And here is the list of 6 insurance payments to the center of the accident in a nutshell. $400,000 through Lao Airlines for search and rescue, DNA testing, transportation, and burial. $5,000 in mandatory compensation to each foreign national victim. $200 in mandatory compensation to each Lao victims. $1,000 for compensation for its family of crew members. $2,000 for Lao Airlines paid to the family of its other victims, and $5,000 is the compensation that will be paid to the family of its other victims. On October 16, 2013, Aviation (LVI), together with representatives of BCEO and Lao Airlines, handed over the entire compensation of the aircraft host insurance contest of the crash plane ATR-72 worth $22 million USD, in which BCEO's World Bank last sponsored Lao Airlines to buy the accident plane and was also the beneficiary of the insurance contest. In addition, LVI had paid the total value of insurance policies for the passenger who dies on the flight with a total value of $2.6 million. And now, Khánh will be in charge of the following parts of our presentation.
Now I will introduce to you about the dispute after the QV301 accident. Although the compensation for the accident had been completed, a dispute between BIC and PVRE over the reinsurance claim had occurred. Accordingly, PVRE has received reinsurance from BIC since 2011, and the reinsurance rate increased year by year. By the end of 2013, BIC proposed to increase the reinsurance rate by 0.1% to 0.67% for the 2013 and 2014 period, but PVRE wanted to keep the old rate. On October 4th, 2013, PVRE staff responded to an email informing BIC of keeping the reinsurance rate unchanged at 0.57%. During the next 12 days, BIC did not respond at all until 3:30 p.m. on October 16, 2013. BIC sent an email confirming the reinsurance rate of 0.57% as requested by PVRE. Please note that exchanges and agreements between the two parties took place via emails. At 3:55 p.m. on the same day, BIC informed about the crash of QV301. BIC demanded compensation, but PVRE refused. After failing to negotiate, in 2015, BIC submitted an application to Vietnam International Arbitration Center or VIAC, asking PVRE to fulfill its compensation obligations. VIAC ruling requested PVRE to pay compensation to BIC at the rate of 0.57%, equivalent to nearly $250,000, and the dividend arbitration fee was equivalent to $11,000. However, because of disobedience to the ruling from VICA, PVRE filed petitions to the Hanoi People's Court to annul the arbitral award. PVRE believed that BICA intentionally protected BIC when the insured object did not exist, and said that BIC knew that the insured event had already occurred. As well as PVRE also suspected that the evidence presented by BIC was not truthful. After meeting to consider the request for annulment of the arbitration award on August 4th and August 5th, 2016, the Hanoi People's Court decided to cancel the arbitration award of BICA due to violations of the commercial arbitration law. And that's all of our presentation. Thank you, teacher, and all of you for your attention and your listening.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's fantastic and very nice from all of the member teams. And I would like to know, and at the end of the day, did the suits was over or not?
How
about the stories was over or not, or still in the courts?
As our knowledge and our research, the dispute between PIC and PVRE is not public on the social on the
They are not
press.
publicly published, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we not sure whether it's already solved or it's still dispute. But I believe that both of the parties are having their solutions.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, I understand. I see. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for this group? I'll keep silence again. Okay. So I have small comment for you that your slides is presented very professional, beautiful, and rich of information. And you also mentioned of the insurance company and the conversation modes, and also the problem arises after that at a dispute between the insurance company. Yeah, and I'll give you the presentation mark for each one. Nguyễn Văn Khanh 8.5, Ngọc Ánh 8, Hoài Ngân 9, Thùy Trâm 9, and Duy Khánh 9. Okay, so this is the end of our presentation for today.